How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Siemens and I'm from IGS Electronics, and today we're going to be continuing with our Siemens work that we've been doing for so many videos with S7-1500 series PLC. And today we're going to be start checking out Siemens's remote IOs, remote IO modules I would call them, and things like that. So there's quite a few of them. There's quite a lot of interesting ones. I'm definitely keen to stuck in it and play with it and show to you guys what I've learned, what I haven't learned, and what the tricks and bits and pieces and things like that. So the first one we're going to be exploring today is a ET200 MP, systematic ET200 MP card. This card allows you to host let's say IO cards away from the PLC via the Profinet network. So, and we are going to be setting up that thing today. That's pretty much in case you have a PLC in one control cabinet and then you have a very long machine somewhere down the line, and it does require right now at the end there's a lot of sensors and a lot of whole lot of things that needs to be, and you want that to be rather than dragging every sensor across it, you would say, oh, I want an additional rack somewhere else on the other panel, and that would be the good way to get going. So we're going to be exploring today how to connect this guy up, have a look at a couple of fault finding tips and tricks. So, and obviously we talk about we start talking about a little bit about topology itself, and we're going to have a separate video. We're going to get much more in depth about topology, how it works, and why do we really need to pay close attention to it. One more good trick that I want to tell you about, guys. If you guys bought this card used, this ET200 MP, there is another one we're going to be checking out in the future, which is ET200 SP. So you must reset it. The key is do full factory reset, and then assign your IP address, and which I'm going to show in a minute. Everything's going to be shown in the video, but with this one key thing, we must reset it. Otherwise, you'll be having problems. You will definitely have the problems. So that's what we're doing today. Without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do, we quickly have a look at the card itself. So first things first, let's plug the power into it. It's a 24 volt DC supply, which is right going down there, and it's got two Profinet ports, which are a X1P1 and X1P2. So and it's got a couple of status lights. One is a status, one is an error light, and that's pretty much all there is. And all you really need to do, if I can do, so add your back bus. As you can see, this is a completely now disconnected. Obviously, I'm not miles away from the PLC, but this is completely disconnected from the PLC itself. So from there on, you can just start adding cards to it. So no, we did not do that. There's that. So pretty much that's the card we're going to do just for demonstration purposes. So another thing what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be doing for communications with the CPU. Let me just pull this card out. So this guy in here, we're going to be using a X1P2 port in here to connect to the PLC. And we have a look at the topology from that point of view. But later on, we're going to be doing a bit more complex in the future. So that's pretty much when it comes down to that. So yeah, so let's plug that into. Do we need to remember which port we go in? And that port is X1P1. And that's pretty much the system is ready to go. All we need to do now is get that set up in our TI portal and get ourselves going. So here we go, the card is powered up. As you can see, my light is flashing, and so my digital output card is flashing. So basically, is that at the moment it is not a setup, and it is waiting for his setup. So he's looking to what he needs to do. So let's get ourselves started. The first thing we need to go is that this is a continuation of the previous what we're doing in the last videos. So we go into network view and add that device IO device into our system. So in our network view, so and that is 155. Let's go 155. Just quickly search the catalog, and don't even need to do that. So and that's going to be 5A. What's that? 5AA01. So let's see if we can find it. Hopefully, it's not going to take too long. Come on. I know I just loaded my TI portal, so it might be a little bit slow. Come on. Here it is. So 67, yeah, that's the one. So let's add it in the system. So now that the device is in a network view, so what you need to do, it wants to be assigned to it. So what we need to do is drag from here, not from here, from there, into that one and get it assigned. Here we go. Now it says, okay, I am in the same network as PLC 1, and I'm sort of communicating, so I'm sort of ready to go, but not really. So I'll show you what happens if you leave it as that. So another thing is, let's put this eye on it. And let's have a look at the IP addresses. As you can see, my IP address in here is 20. That's at 02. So let's do that one in here to 21. Let's do that. And the next thing what we need to do is remember I said we need to reset it. So let's go into the search, our accessible nodes. So there is our OIA devices. As you can see, I've been playing with it before, but nevertheless, we are going to show how to reset it. So now that appears right down here in the bottom, let's go to Online and Diagnostics. And go into a functions and reset to factory settings and delete pretty much everything. Here we go. Boom. That is gone. So and if we go back in again, so accessible nodes, search devices, you will see that the device now has got the address and everything's been wiped up. So pretty much you are ready to use that device. So first things we need to do, we need to give him the IP address that we are planning to do, and a subnet as well. So actually, let's just do it again. I didn't click the show. So there we go. Show that for us. So there you are. So let's go in our IP address. So and this in here where we need to assign it. This is crucial. We need to do that. So it's 192.168. That's my IP address. Yours could be different. So and let's go a 21. And subnet is 255.255.255, typical. And let's click assign it. So now it's going to assign that IP address to that unit, and that unit now has got, so I would call it its home address. So now we know how to get to it, how to work with it. So and if you go again in accessible nodes, you will see that that address now has been recorded on the actual unit. Here we go. So that's done with that. So and as you can see, we set up that in here. You can obviously double click on that one, and in here actually what we need to do, as you can see, opened up a new rack. This is where we can add the cards, the ones we want to be on there, and the one we need to be on there is 5221BL. 5221BL. That should be enough for us to find it. BL, no. We need BL00. All right, I'll give him a 00 as well. There we go. That's the one. So let's add that card in there. So now he's got that card in here. So you can access as well in here. You can click this. What's this called? This Profinet interface in here, and you can have a look and set up your IP address in here as well. I do it with my little eye in network view. So and then so what I'm going to do in here. So technically you would think, oh, that's good. That's good going. Something could be going. So let's try it. Let's go on CPU and load in. So he's gonna do his business, and let's load in. And let's finish it and have a look if it's working. So let's start. Try to start the unit in the first place. And let's show you the camera. As you can see, my card is still flashing, even though I loaded in the configuration, but it's still flashing. Nothing's happened, and my CPU is stuck on a startup. It's because of topology. It wants to know specifically at which port where it is connected to. So let's have a look. How can we fix that? So let's stop it from here, so it doesn't keep doing that. So we're going to go into topology. So put you down here, and we need to tell him which specific port is connected to which specific port. So let's do that. and we're connected to that port, and here we go. So that's now, he knows that, okay, I'm talking from that port to that port. We're going to talk quite a bit more deeper into this in a future. So let's try to load that in now and see if that fixes the problem. There we go. So if all gone well, when we click start all modules, that should go straight away go and start up the modules, and boom, it start up the modules. So let's have a look on our card itself now, and as you can see, communication has been established, none of the lights are flashing, and the unit is good to go. So that's where it's important, the topology, because that's how I presume that's how Profinet works. In topology, you have to say which port is communicating to which port. Ladies and gentlemen, will do for this video. Hopefully that gives you a good understanding how to connect now to get this part of the PLC from S7-1500 series family going. In the next video, we're going to look a bit more deeper into the topology and how a bit more deeper how it works. But yeah, so hopefully that helps you out, gives you a good understanding how that works. And if you like the video, don't smash that like. Do subscribe if you're new to the channel. Almost did it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next video.